Talk. This is your host, Scott. Hope you had a good week in trading this week. It's been a pretty crazy week. Good bit of volatility in the markets. Had a good red day today. We've been doing some more of that trading with the GME stock. I guess I'm a glutton for punishment, but we've been playing with that one. So we're going to show you the trades that we made on that one so far this week and kind of talk about the ranges there that we're looking at. Also, jump back into one that if you've watched any of my videos in the last year or so, played it a lot. It's NVAX. NVAX did dip this week and got into it a little too early. Hadn't really found a place to stop going down yet, so wished I would have waited another couple of days at least, but we will cost average that one once it settles, once I figure out where the bottom is on it. But a couple buys, nothing huge, but it's still a pretty good bit of money because the share price is so high. So we're gonna talk about that as we go on with video. All right, so let's go ahead and jump over to our portfolio and start talking about some of that now. All right, so here you can see the portfolio. You can see we do have the NVAX at the top. So let me just pull that chart up and show you what's going on with that. It's a terrible day today, down 13%, but it was pretty good recovery from where it was at. It was actually a lot worse than that, over 20% down today, just today. So let me get the 5-day chart up here where you can see. So they had some earnings the other day, and it dropped on earnings, which to me is really something that's not that important with NVAX at the moment. But in the next few quarters, it should be getting more important. But it did fall off on that, and then of course it held up somewhat. I mean, it's still Tuesday. It still had some more of a rough day, but not too terrible. Until the end of the day, it did drop pretty good there, you see, but it did come back. But Wednesday and Thursday, it has been all downhill, and it cannot seem to find the bottom. It did get all the way down here today to 147.39, as you can see here was the low. That's a pretty good spread, but the volume's not terrible. Almost doubled today, but nothing crazy. But it has picked up, as you can see here, these spikes. So, but what I'm doing is I'm just going to wait for this thing to settle. Let's take a look at that 6-month chart, and you can see it's getting down to these levels here. The 130 level, it did hit 147 a day. So if it gets down to here, might be a good entry point for me. That's what I'll probably, if what I'd like to see it do is get here and then start to go back up. I'd like to see it bounce off of these levels here, this 130 level. Or it can start bouncing tomorrow, it's fine with me. But I'm not going to do anything until I see it stop dropping, not anything else. So, because we did buy this one earlier in the week. As soon as we had this, we had the initial drop after earnings. We bought at 215, right around here, 215.81, and then as it fell more that day, I actually bought it again at 199.62. So bought it on the 2nd. So, but wished I'd have waited 2 more days, but I didn't. So now we're going to just hold the ones we've got, and we'll cost average that once this thing turns back up. There's still a lot of good information that we're waiting on there with this stock. The U.S. Trial phase 3 is not complete yet, so once it completes, it could be complete, but the data has not come out on it yet. I don't think it's completed even yet, but the data has not come out on the results of that P3 test there. So that's one we're waiting on. Of course, we got it from some other areas, other countries, and they were pretty good results. So that's good. So what we're waiting on is a couple of other things, an approval in some, I think it was the United Kingdom, some of those approvals in some other areas, as well as the results of the P3 in the U.S. and then the approval for that. So once those approvals come in and that other results, you could very well see this thing go right back up to where it was at if it's good news. Now, one concern people have right now, probably thinking, well, the U.S. is well on its way with the vaccines, and that's true. But we're talking, this is a worldwide pandemic. It's not just the U.S. And not only that, it's Novavax got some advantages. You don't have to store this vaccine, in this freezing real low temperatures. So that's a plus for it. It's going to be, easier to administer with that kind of thing. But this COVID-19 is not going away. It doesn't look like there's all these new strands, and Novavax is working on some of that as well. So don't give up on it. Don't give up if you're still in it and it's falling. That's why I sell. I mean, I did sell way before this level, I think, last time. But I don't stay in something very long sometimes. But this one ran all the way up to 300, so I could have got a lot more money out of it. But again, my strategy being retired is, if I make a certain amount of money, I'm going to take my winnings. And so we're back in it. I'm glad to be back in it because it's a lot of fun, but it can be a little stressful on days like today if you're holding a bunch of shares of it. But I'm not holding it near as many as I had before. So, but I am going to build that position up once this thing stops bleeding. Okay. So let's go back to our portfolio here and take a look at some others. Let's see here. The next one on the list is GME. And I've been trading that one. I've been doing a bunch of day trades with this one. And let me pull the charts up on that. You can see the 5-day chart here. We've had a little bit of ups and downs, and that's what I've been trading. I want to show you something on that as well. Let me get that pulled up for us. Okay, so here is the spreadsheet I wanted to show you on the day trades I've been doing this week on this one. We've had pretty good luck with it. 3-1, we made a day trade, 101 to 101.50 to 108.50. Now, some of these trades, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in just a minute, are split between days. So I may buy towards the end of the session sometimes and hold it over until pre-market or even the next day. So these are the close dates. Okay, so and here's the next on the second close date. We sold 120 to this 120.46 to 130, 7.92%. So these are really good gains. Anytime you can get 6%, 7%, almost 8 there in a day, that's a good gain. Even all these are really good gains, even if that's all you get, even as low as this. But you see on the third, we made a couple of trades. I've been trading mostly in my TD accounts, which is an IRA and a cash account. I'm just not going to worry about the tax man. If I have to pay the tax man, I'm just going to have to pay him. But we're gonna make a couple trades here. You see, 121 to 124. That's 2.5% in a day, and then you got 120 over 22, and that's 1.67. Now, some of these may look like small gains as far as $2 a share and that kind of thing, but if you're thinking about it, and if you have a certain amount of shares and you're making $2 a share, that's a pretty good little bit of money for somebody sitting at the computer clicking keys, right? So that's nothing wrong with these little small share amounts, as long as you got enough shares to make it worth your while. All right, so here's a 119 to 126. You'll see some of these. This stock can run at times in both ways. So if you'll notice where I'm buying to, it's anywhere between the 116 to 120 range, and that's where it's been trading. It's been going up to almost to 130. So you'll see that as well. So here's a 5.8% on that one. And as you can see, today was a good day. We made several of these trades. It's 2.52% there, and 4.131% there, and a 5.9%. All in today. All this is a single day trade here. Now, what I want to say about that is what I do a lot of times. You'll see here. This was the same account, okay, but like this morning, I'll put in a trade for 119. All right, if it drops a certain amount, then I will put in another trade in a different account. In this case, it was 116. All right, and then also, as it was going down, I put a when it went down $1, I put another trade there as well. So that's kind of what I do is as it goes down, I'll switch accounts, buy another same amount of shares in another account, and then same thing again. So what happens is I ended up with 3 different trades out there at different prices, and then sometimes all 3 of them will fill, sometimes just a couple will fill, or something like that. But this is what happened today. All 3 of them filled, and I was able to sell them all for a good little profit. And then only one of them filled later in the day, and I was able to sell it at a pretty good profit. So other 2, it never got down to 18, and I think I was at 50, actually put it at 15 on the 3rd account. So I did get down to my 19 and was able to sell it again. Pretty good gain on that one. So just kind of splitting up at different accounts, and as it drops, I've got at least at one account, I might make money on it for the days I with. So that's kind of the way I do it. So let me pull up this chart again, show you. Let's go back to that real quick. Let's see here. All right, so here's the chart on the GameStop here. Let me show you. So this has been it, and you can see sometimes this thing will be like, for instance, 117 here drops all the way down to 108. So there's opportunities to get in when something's this volatile. Look at that, 129 there, and all the way back down to 119. $10 swing there, just like real quick like. So if you went and bought, let's say if you went and bought 100 shares right there at 119. You could have got out at, somewhere around 130. You might have made 1,000. But it's like me, what I do a lot of times is before it goes all the way up, I'll just take my few $100s or whatever I want to make, and I'll just take it, There's no need to be greedy. You think about a day's work. If you were working, if you can make $200 or $300, $400 a day, that's not bad money. So that's kind of what we do. We see here, this thing can drop just as quick as it goes up. Look at these things here. This is crazy stuff right there. But 129 all the way back down to 113. So, but you can see these little spots here, 116, 122. That's a $6 swing. You get a $6 and $5 swing, and if you got 100 shares, you're making pretty good money if you can time it and not get greedy. So what happened today? Let me show what happened today. Look at this chart today. All right. I had made, let's see. Yeah, I had done all my trading. Those 4 trades that I showed you, I was already out. And then this happened. So you saw what I sold at some of those shares at. But I had made all my money here, all this in this time period. But then we're sitting there eating lunch with a buddy of mine, and I didn't have any shares, and he didn't have any shares, and this is what it did. Boom. Went all the way up to 146, 147, 87, right there where we were eating. Actually, my buddy had a couple of shares he had bought, and he forgot he had them. And then when he got in his car later, he realized that he still had those shares, and I think he sold them for 135. But this is crazy stuff right here. See that? Crazy stuff. Look at the volume. Look at the volume pick up right there. I mean, we were running low volumes. It's only showing 32 million. Average volume 40 for today. But it had a pretty heavy volume this last part of the day especially. So, I'm watching it in after hours. You can see it's down to 128. And it looks like after hours will be closing any minute now. Maybe it already closed. Yeah. It's actually after 8. So it's closed. And I don't have any shares. I like to have some shares, before pre-market starts because that's when it pops sometimes. But don't have any of this go around. So we're going to probably wake up in the middle, in the morning, early morning. We'll see, check it. If it's down to what I'm looking for is anywhere in that 120, 119 range. If I wake up and it's down that low, I may jump on it. May actually see, it seems to be holding this level pretty good, but that's too high for me right now. I still like these, at least the 124. The 124 range might be an area to get in, just depending how it's acting. But I prefer the 120, 119, 18, so, in the teens. But, when's it going to get back down there? I don't know. It was just there, so it may not take long. This thing moves pretty quick, so that's kind of what I'm going to be watching tomorrow. I'll see how it does, and we'll go from there. It's, again, a very volatile stock, but it's a lot of fun to play. But, like to get caught in it last week. I actually did get caught in it last week, and gave away all the winnings that I had built up, pretty much. And but ended up, I'm still doing pretty good on it in the last 2 weeks. So this week's been a really good week for it. So we're going to do that because the portfolio, again, these are things I talk about. Portfolio is going down because the market's going down, and some of this. You watch that thing go up and down, and when it's going down, my thought process is let's make some trades and pocket money, because that's what we need to be focusing on right now, is just pocketing some money, getting in and out of trades, and pocketing some money. Don't worry about that portfolio going up and down. Get your mind on something else. That's what I do, because I don't want to sit there and worry about, oh no, my portfolio has gone down this much. Why not get your mindset changed to let me go make some money today? I mean, and when you buy and sell something, you're making money. Your portfolio might be going down, but you're buying and selling stuff, you're pocketing that money, and you're making money. It's just the same as a job. So that's what I do when it starts doing that. So we've had a good week with the day trading, but portfolios look terrible this week. That's what happens sometimes. You just got to keep that mindset right. All right, so let's go back to our portfolio here. Let me get back to that real quick. All right, let's see here. So GameStop, that's kind of what we've been doing. I showed you the trades. We'll just keep that spreadsheet going where we can check that while I'm doing that for the time being. It's an active stock, so we're going to keep doing it. Other stocks that we've got, Akamai, you can see how red everything was today. Pretty bad. We even got red futures going on here, so we may have another red day tomorrow. So Akamai did squeeze out a little green, but it was up pretty decent today. Let's take a 5-day chart. Look at that real quick. Yeah, it's down a little bit, not much. So it's had a pretty decent week. Nothing terrible. That's not the one that's got us. NVAX has got us this week. That's the big culprit. This one here has been getting us pretty good too. We are way down on this one, so we'll be holding it a while. Let's take a look at the last month on this. Look at that. That's not what you want to see. And let's take a look at our 5 days. It's really just, it's not the direction we want. But that's what happens. You just gotta ride them out sometimes, and that's what we'll be doing with this one. This one here has not been one of my favorites. This is the UVXY. It's a VIX short-term futures ETF, as you can see here. Up 6.44%. It was up in double digits today. I'm really disappointed in this one because it's not acting like I thought it was going to act. The VIX means that's a volatility index. And if your market is going up and down, up and down, up and down, which that's what our markets have been doing, you would think that volatility number would be higher than what it is right now. But it did rise pretty good here today for a point of time. But I've been really disappointed in this one because it just seems like our market's been pretty volatile. But this seems to go more with if the market goes down, and then it might go. This might go up. It's almost like a short, acting like a short, which is the opposite of going up. If you got a short on something, the market and it goes down, of course your short it's making money. But in this case, this volatility index is supposed to be going up as the market goes up and down, up and down, up and down. It's volatile. Okay, I guess it's had a, they consider it volatile, but not near as volatile as I consider it. So disappointed in this one, not liking it. So I'm gonna get out of it when I can. I think we're in around $13 on that one. So, but it doesn't take something really bad happen, and you'll see a good little spike on it. You can see here we're 6 months removed from a 23 level. Also, we had this not too long ago. It was 1464. That's above where we were. That's when all that Reddit stuff was going on big time, and the crazy stuff was going on in the market. So that's that number there. So we got in shortly after that because I thought it was going to be, going up from there. Let me show you this, the 1 year chart. Now this is what happened when the pandemic hit, and that's when it went up to $91. So if you get in some kind of downward trend, real bad downward trend, you're going to see this thing up here in the 30s, 40s, 50s, just depending on how bad it gets. But it looks like it's tied to whether it goes down more so than whether it goes up and down, which is not what I was thinking. So anyway, you live and you learn sometime. CLF, we're not holding any of that. That's Cliff. That's steel and iron ore company. I'm not holding any of that, but we'll take a look at that 5-day chart. There's some infrastructure talk that's been going on. It's pretty, down a little bit, nothing major. U.S. Steel took a good hit today. That's another one of our steels that I am holding some of that, but we'll look at that in a second. SH, this is our ProShares short S&P. So this is the short of the S&P. S&P was down today, so this was up. That's what we expect. And we're holding that more or less for insurance in case the market turns down. At least we'll have something that's going up, as well as the volatility index probably. So these two on a bad day, you can expect both of these to be up. Okay. KO is Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola. And Coca-Cola is, it's been doing halfway decent. Let's take a look at the 5-day chart on that one. You can see here it's pretty flat. It's got a 3.36% dividend. If you're interested in dividends, I don't pay much attention to them, but there's good, if you got one that's not doing a whole lot and it's paying a dividend, that's always good. Tilray took a pretty good hit, 10% today. That's not what we wanted to see. I've got that in one account. Thank goodness it's only one account, and we are way, way off from that one. That's a 2-year hold probably. It's going to be a long time before it comes back, I would think, unless they legalize it, and then it will be back in a hurry. And we'll be cost averaging. Well, we're not cost averaging that one right now. I just let it ride for now. Nikola, another disappointing one that we've got a pretty good size stake in right now. Just can't seem to find the bottom on this one either. It looked like it was trying to come back a couple of times here. You can see this is a 6-month chart, and now it's just kind of slow trend down. So not what we want to see on that one. That's a pretty good little stake in that one too. So that's painful. U.S. Steel is the one we just got back into it recently, and we're down a little bit on it, I believe. But this thing got down a little bit today, so all the way down to 1682. That 1650 range is a good range. I'll probably cost average that one if it goes down again tomorrow. I'll probably jump on some of that. If it gets around that 1650 level, I'll probably double up on what I've got right now. I'd like to build a good stake in that one because eventually they're going to do the infrastructure. And when they do that infrastructure, this one's going to go up. Okay. ACB, another one of the cannabis stocks. It was down 6%. Not holding any of that right now. Let's see what the 6-month chart looks like on that. Okay, well, it could go a good bit more as far as down. So based off of that line going across there, I would say I wouldn't even think about it until it got to something like this. Maybe that level there, $7. So it's a ways off from where I would even think about Now you could trade it possibly. If you get a good news cycle on that, you could possibly trade it. But if you buy it now, you see this is a downward trend. Okay, let's see how the day acted. Yeah, see, you could have bought here on the dip somewhere around there, but you really got to know what levels this thing is settling in and things like that. But see, I don't know. I hadn't been watching this one close enough, but you can see if you got in there, you could have traded it. But you're not. You see what you could have. I like the other one better, a higher price one because it can move a dollar or two quicker. You're putting a lot more money in it. Okay, like the GME, you're putting a lot more money in it initially, but it moves $2 and $3 a lot quicker. And so if you're mainly interested in trying to make $2 or $3, $4 or $500, all it's got to do is go up $5, and you made 500 if you bought 100 shares. Something like this, you could buy the volume on it. You could buy, the same amount of money, and then you might even make more because of the moves here. But I don't know. I just I've seen that GME is going up, and there's people playing with it, so it seems like it's going to do its own thing there. So uh, it can go. I mean, they've really been messing with that stock, and I've never seen anything like it. What they're doing to some of these stocks, making them go up and down like they do. But it's supposed to be this Reddit crowd or whatever it is. But I find some of that hard to believe that retail investors can move stocks like that. It has to be coordinated somehow, and I don't know that they've got that many folks doing the same thing. But you watch all the news shows, that's what they say. But I don't know. I don't know. The big boys are the ones that plays the games. That's you just got to be, know what game they're playing and try to time it right. So that's how the whole market works. To tell you the truth. But um, tomorrow, what I'm going to be doing, let's go back to that. Let's go back to that GME. Look at it one more time here. I may add to Novavax if it has a good day and it looks like an upward trend and bleeding stops. I probably may wait a day before I do that. U.S. Steel, that 1650 level. And this one here is the one I'm going to be day trading possibly if I can get lucky in the morning and wake up and it's down a good bit. So it ended up closing right here at let's see here. I don't know why this thing says 759. This one says 731. Let me see here. Which one's telling me the truth? Okay. So this one here, it looks like it finished up around 128.25. So maybe 124, because that's the 24 was the top where it was having a hard time getting through that 24 before. So it's 124 may be support now. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm going to watch the 124 level real close in pre-market. And if I see it stand around that level, especially right before the market opens, I might jump on it at 124 and see if it gets a little pop right at the market open. If not, I may be stuck with some at 124, and if it goes down from there, I'll just start buying it in some other accounts at different levels. But you know, they may do this again tomorrow. Who knows? I mean, if you get in at 124 and it goes all the way up to 146, and you're still holding it, which I won't be. If I buy in at 124, I'll be out at 129. I'm not going to push my luck. Maybe sooner. Maybe not even that much. Just depends what time of day it is and how close we are. You know, tomorrow is Friday, so Friday's usually a good day to sell off stuff, or people do that. It seems like that's their habit. It looks like the futures are indicating that as well. So be careful tomorrow getting in any kind of trade, because it could just be a downward trend from there if you get in there. But I'm going to be doing the same thing I've been doing, so I'll probably jump on some of that GME if I can get it. But I hope you have a good day. We're sitting at about, right now, still about 60% cash, maybe 58%. Uh, so we got a good bit of cash. This market can pull back a good ways. Even though the portfolio is going down, we've got a lot of dry powder, so we'll put it to work. If it gets a good 10% pullback or something like that, I'd love for it to do something like that. Even though my numbers are going down as far as the portfolio, it's a good opportunity when the market pulls back. So it's the only way you make money. It's not going to go straight up. So you got to have that dry powder ready to go when it does pull back. And don't think of it as something awful. Think of it as an opportunity. Okay. So we'll talk to you later. If you have not subscribed, please click that subscribe button right here and do that before you leave. And I appreciate you watching this far. We'll see you later on in the week, probably Sunday night. All right. Thanks. Bye.